Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am bringing you yet another solo to masters video, this time covering my game in gold. So what happened in this game is at one point my teammates died and I had to bail, and I had to basically carry on my own to actually get the win. As with the rest of this series, I'm going to be going through my decision making leading up to that point and following that point, and hopefully we can all come out of this a little bit smarter. So here's the loading, pretty standard stuff, grabbing some ammo, picking the shield for my teammate, making sure everyone's stocked up. Actually, I'm starting to think we were not contested. No, we're contested. I might have misremembered. This was a few days ago. But yes, anyway, so I got shot at here. I quickly took cover. I poked a little bit. I could push this, but I wanted to get the high ground, which is down here. Obviously, you should never really pass up a chance for free loot, especially if there's no real pressure on your teammates. Because then you're just going to stand around doing nothing. So I figured, hey, I'm just going to check the bins, maybe grab a little bit more loot. There might be something that I need. Or at all times. So this team set a weird ambush here. I threw the arc star, figuring maybe they were, you know, actually setting an ambush. They were. The Kazi was sitting there. I quickly take 1v1, switch 1v1. I knew it was a hot swap, so I run back to get that. Did not pop my Q because I did not take shots. I got very lucky on the timing here and just got to beam the Bangalore router looking back. This is actually a fun fact. This is the first game since I started using recoil smoothing. I have not recoil smoothed intentionally before this. And you'll probably notice a lot of, like, very low recoil shots. If you guys don't trust the efficiency of it. I combine my recoil smoothing with, which is basically just smoothly moving your aim, with recoil micro adjustments or pulling down a little bit. So that's why I decided to run the 301 here to really put this to its test and to get the most out of it. I also play 3x R301 when I play competitively. I play Gibraltar, I play in a backline. So it makes much sense to have mid, maybe long-ish range weapon as a primary. I'm just waiting. So Mr. Really is looting. I've noticed I've done this more in these series than I do normally, which is running behind my team. I saw the rest. I'm starting to head towards that direction. But I try not to split away too far from my team because you never know, right? And I've noticed that my teammates in general seem to be slower than I am. I'm obviously playing Octane, so I am, you know, bound to be ahead of them. But even keeping that in mind, I am usually ahead of them.
Honestly, it's the same with YouTube. There's not really quality content on YouTube as well when it comes to Apex.
Yeah, he caught me off guard here. I was not paying too full attention to put a nade on the top there. I took the hot swap, figured it would be bigger. 1v1, very greedy with the 3x as well, but I decided to take it. Audio's all over the place here. I'm just gonna be quiet. Yeah, I just ran in for no reason, but there were a lot of distractions, so I could have been in as well, in any case. Push forward, look for the flank, always keep switching up the angles when taking a fight. I do this very often. I never try to peek from the same angle twice if I can avoid it, because, yeah, they're usually aiming right at it, and that's just gonna get me beamed. That does get put me in a bit of a annoying position in team play, but if I'm solo queuing and, you know, solo carrying, I definitely don't want to take damage. I'm fine with my teammates taking some damage. I was trying to just hunt down a GB and close it out. Managed to do it just like that. And that's cool. So now we're fighting in the, as a lot of people call this, the Bermuda Triangle of RP. We are in the middle of Olympus. Super dangerous. I don't think I'm pulling the map up, but if I do, I'll show you.
There were 2 squads, right?
But really, like, this central area, we're looking at Hammond, Estates, the energy depot, and the turbine. They're all very dangerous places to be in ranked. Especially with how aggressive people play, you can basically guarantee RP just by taking an early fight and then just playing edge of map the rest of the game, and you're gonna get a decent amount of RP, especially this season now that they changed it. Now this was so I noticed that we're still shooting onto the high ground here. It means there's one team on the left here, and one team on the left, one team on the right. I figured I'd take the high ground because they are super far away. I'd imagine this is probably, what, 200-300 meters away? And these guys are right here. And you want this high ground because this high ground is goddamn awesome. So I was like, alright, let's go for that. Ran up a little bit, super risky. You're very exposed here. Like, I've gotten beamed taking this high ground many times, but I'm just hoping they don't look my way. Especially because they were poking the other team. Odds of them looking this way are very slim, unless I catch them when they're turning over. So catch this guy. I was practicing the recoil smoothing. I lost control a little bit, but it was still pretty good beam. Once again, taking another angle, not moving up in front of the whole house here, because that's, you know, where all of them are already looking. Instead, I take the back route, looking for the Octane, and I find him. Get the clean up. Not the clean shots, but the clean up. And then I'm chasing his teammates. Pushing with the Maggie, but also ego pushing at the same time. It's gonna peek, figure out where the hell they went. They just, you know, they just bailed on Octane here. But you never know, right? I spotted the guy down here now, but I don't think I saw it when I was playing. Right underneath us. It's not like we can W key anyways. It's never a good idea to W key super hard into team when two teams are right next to each other. That is just how you get yourself killed. Especially in the RP Bermuda Triangle. The closer you are to the edge, or the farther away you are from where teams are or are supposed to be, the higher chances are that you'll get out of like a super aggro, super greedy push. But a super greedy push in this situation would get us killed. The video on Recoil smoothing would do. And the difference between what I did before and now is a super greedy push would be jumping into someone because I have a massive disadvantage. Odds are I would take a lot of damage or get knocked, or my teammates would get knocked, and then I would just, you know, like we would die and then third party roll in and we would lose. But going for the high ground there, I was kind of like fishing for damage. I wasn't fully committing. I could always back out if I needed to. Now we got Valked ult here for some reason. Probably this is the Bermuda Triangle striking again, looking for an instant aid, hoping for a highlight, did not hit it. So as a comment, that's a charge level team. That's a team from way earlier. And then I say, all right, let's just run away from here. Because, like, once again, this is a real bad situation. We've been here for a while. I usually call this the egg timer rule, but we've been here for a while now. So this team, that was a charge level team. They seem to have Valk ulted on top. Or maybe another team, I don't know. There's also one unaccounted for team somewhere here, probably in the tunnel. We've also been here for a long, long time. So odds are maybe there's a team around here, maybe there's a team around here, maybe there's a team off screen. That are just like, they're rotating in or they're waiting for us to run through. This happens a lot, especially in these lobbies where people gatekeep like that. So I decided we're gonna run away and bail. I figured Turbine wasn't the safe choice, especially because they were holding high ground here. Exactly, I went around this way through the tunnel. I figured, okay, this is probably the safest way. Nobody's gonna gatekeep. If they gatekeep, they're gonna be gatekeeping this runway here, and I don't think they will be for a while. So now I kind of went against, so I don't know what happened here. But they started shooting, and my teammates started like shooting as well. Very clearly, they got stuck in a firefight of some sort. Not sure what happened, but obviously I had to turn and I had to help them out. Don't just leave them because they get into a bad position. In some later lobbies, normally this might mean that you have to leave your teammates, but we're still in gold. I'm feeling confident. I hit my shots, so I decided, all right, I even have a super good flank. I'm gonna look for this here.
Fucking hard style.
Like, they were not expecting it. They were full committed on this, and I was just on a wide flank.
Where'd he go?
Very confused with that push. Let me just clean up a little bit. Very confused overall. I'm confused watching this too. I have no idea what they're going for there. But people seem to linger a lot in gold, I think. Like in lower ranks, but especially in gold, people linger a lot. They stay in one place, maybe looting or just spending time sitting around where they could have been more proactive and rotated deeper or gone for positioning. At this rate, most teams would have left zone. Most teams are already set up inside the zone unless forced to rotate wide or making a conscious decision to rotate wide. So now we're just running around the edge. We know that there's my teammates pinged a team. They pinged a team here, which was I guess that was the high ground team. They have an image of what's happening that I don't. But I figured, okay, so if we walk up here, that means we can either gatekeep them away from it or hold them off or whatever. Odds are they're probably gonna walk around here if we do. But that's fine. Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit of a thorn in the side of your enemy and hope that they make a mistake so you can push in.
Probably to actually build muscle. So it's like, oh, that's a disappointment.
And that's what happened. I caught one off guard rotating in the open. Super free kill. Just a little bit not clean, but we got him.
Pretty taxing routine I've been doing, but
super free kill though. They're just in the zone. You know, they have the pressure of zone in the back. It's still zone like free, so it's not really like insane damage wise, but it does provide a lot of pressure. It does add a little bit of I could not see this guy. It does add a little bit of like, oh yeah, you gotta be careful. Because you will get caught out. I ran out and I thought I got shot for this, but looking at this again, did I get knocked from one zone tick? Because he got me down to 1 health. Let me see this again, because I want to close the fight out soon as possible. I am aware that odds of us getting third party are getting higher by the minute. We already knew a lot of teams were hovering around. As I'm looking at it now, there's actually a ping up here. But I took the 1v1 and tried to clean it up with the Pika shot. And I think we just traded, actually. Now, I have the self-res here. My teammates have to fight Yep, they're fighting a third party now, and they're getting knocked. That's not their fault, but they are getting rolled from behind. That's you could say it's my fault for taking a bit of a greedy. Like, normally don't want to take this fight. This is exactly what happens when you try to gatekeep. It happens to a lot of teams. You try to gatekeep, and you know, like, you're all looking this way, and you're just holding here. And then what happens is another team might pull up. I do not know what why is it doing that? Another team might pull up, and now they are gatekeeping you. So now they're standing behind you and looking in. And then maybe someone comes up behind them and they're gatekeeping. You know, like, it's gatekeeping all the way down. So normally gatekeeping is not a strategy I would advise. It almost always backfires. Now also the only reason this backfired is because I got knocked. If I would have been alive, maybe we could have dealt with them. But it was still unfavorable as hell for us. I got my self-res off, which is awesome, and I stick a medkit. And this is really greedy what I'm doing now. I figured the enemy team would push the heat shield or something, but I think they actually opted to just sit around and wait for me to run back into the zone. Or they're looting and just completely clueless. I don't know for sure. But it seemed like it was sitting on the boxes when I peeked here. So I decided that, you know what? I can't take this 1v3. I am outside the zone. I really only have one nade. I'm gonna look for something. Maybe make some magic happen. I still have this card in the back of my pocket, which I take here. I just decided, okay, I'm gonna leave my teammates. I will love to help them win. Or to rest them, like get the banners and rest them, but the other team seems to be staying there for a while. So first off, they're sitting on the banner. Secondly, they're gonna be looting for a long time, and it's just not realistic. Now this is, it hurts watching this because like, this is super risky because I know there's a team around, but I just imagine that they wouldn't go behind me. This could have gotten me killed if it was like a different lobby. Or if the other team saw me leave and they were chasing or something. But nobody's really chasing. Nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to be holding zone. So I can easily walk around uncontested. If this was like a diamond lobby or master lobby, I'd probably be a lot more careful. But now it's just chill. Also, there's 5 squads alive. So it means it's like, okay, well, we have time to kill. Usually when you have time to kill, you want to loot. Because it's a BR, you want to get as much loot as possible. Time is a resource. Every second you play the game, you're wasting the resource, which is time. Usually want to fill this up with something because you're always trading. No matter what you do, you're trading it for time. So never really, you really want to avoid standing still and holding an angle unless you really have to. If you can instead like loot a little bit, heal up, or you know, think ahead, something like that, that is a way better use of the time resource which you have than yeah, you're standing still. And it really adds up too. It really genuinely adds up. So I was looking for a really lucky stick here. These are not super good plays. So I'm obviously like solo now. My best goal is to go for a third party and not go for a 1v1 with some random like full team. That is the ideal. The realistic way for me to win this in most lobbies is just literally, okay, I'm gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the last 2 squads to fight. We know there's 1 solo probably. There's 2 full squads. There's the solo dead. No, it's 10 people alive. Or no, sorry, less than 10 people alive. And now more people getting knocked, more people getting finished. And now it's 2 squads, they're fighting each other. I jump pad in. A bit of a greedy jump, but I take the ultimate high ground on this team fight. They're looking at me, so I back up a little bit and reset. I catch someone, I start shooting them. When you look for a third party, I'm just gonna add this before you guys see me beam this kid. When you look for a third party and you are the sole person left on your team, in this situation, there's 2 teams fighting, and to get the win, I have to third party and make sure everyone's dead. This might seem obvious, but I'm gonna point it out anyways. Never take, never like fight cleanly, if that makes sense. Don't help the team that's winning. If you can tell the difference between a winning and a losing team, try to thin the numbers of the winning team. You want to make sure that their fight, if you're involving yourself at all, you have to make sure that their fight is as messy as possible, because the worse they have played during the fight, the more knocks they've taken, the worse of a position they have, the less health they have, the more of a chance you have to, you know, actually capitalize on that and turn it into a win. Now, I have some amazing, well, probably not positioning because there's 2 people right here, but I really caught him off guard with this flank. I get the beam on the Loba, so I've got it. I'm not keeping up with which team is which, but I know I knocked out Gibraltar that I think was from the other team. I knocked the Loba, which I think was from this team, so we should have gotten one from both teams. If the mental counter in my head is correct, we should be in a 1v1v1 situation. I have high ground, and we have There's an Octane here, and there's a Maggie here. Yeah, this is a 1v1 situation. V1 even. I take the push because I know she should be low. Because I have the sear. I have perma health packs. No, I don't remember why. I think I saw it. I get the hot swap real quick, and I just know, okay, if I win this 1-1. Something doesn't add up, though. Something doesn't add up, because we're still 3 squads. But I can't think about that. I have to think about the Octane that's right in front of me. I have to think about this guy right here. This guy right here is what I have to deal with. That's the only way we can win, because he's the biggest threat right now. He has high ground, and he's waiting for me. So, you know, 1-1 happens. I am choking really hard at this point, because I'm literally thinking about videos. This is probably not something you get. You guys probably will choke. That happens to everyone. It was explained that the reason I choked that was literally because I was just thinking about this video we're making now. I got it completely in my head. If you're better with focusing, kudos. But it's my biggest weakness. This happens all the time. You guys have seen it in previous videos as well.
Probably low by self-rest.
So then I turn around and I even said that. Probably low by self-rest. It seems because we know that 3 people from that team should have gotten knocked. Maybe even 1 finished. But they're still not dead. And Lobas usually have a gold knockdown shield on account of their passive or her passive. So I turn back and I'm looking for a Loba. Really confused because I have no idea where she could have went. And instead I see a Gibraltar who I promptly deal with. But it's still not the Loba. Zone is closing and I know I'm exposed. So I'm deciding I'm gonna back up a little bit. Either the Loba's gonna stick a res on the Jibby or she's gonna leave him, you know, to die, especially if she's not even there. So I'm just chilling around a little bit, but I'm ready to back up if needed. It seems he's alone and then he bleeds out for some reason. Probably has gotten knocked a few times, so he didn't have a lot of a timer left. And now the Loba is completely MIA. I have no idea where she went. And I'm just kind of looking around. So I know that, I don't know exactly where the zone closest, but I know that I want the biggest high ground. I assume she probably wants a big high ground as well, but I'm still not finding any trace of this Loba anywhere. But I know I can play cover here or whatever. I'm just waiting for her to make an emergence. I'm feeling confident. I guess the shakiness of me choking myself has kind of dropped a little bit. But I'm still being wary because I want to make sure that we play this properly. So I can show people how to win when your teammates are dead or have left or whatever. So I'm just looking around. Oh, there he is. And he shoots with the triple take. I push forward. This is not the smartest peek, but I'm not. Instead, I opt to run around the side and work with the cover here because he's probably looking down the right side here. I managed to push up a little bit uncontested. I cleared a lot of space. And then he's right there. This, I know he has a triple take out, so I know this is going to be a favorable pick for me. He's probably super uncomfortable with having me just pop up like that. Now, he had R9 out, but I expected him to have the triple take. And I had the confidence, so I won the 1v1.
Why did I even get worked up about it?
And then we just go for like a little bit of an extra, because I'm a really extra guy. So a few key takeaways that you can have from this video would be that, one, we have the Bermuda Triangle of RP loss. You want to avoid this, especially more aggressive ranks, which I guess is basically every rank this season. Anyways, you also want to think twice about gatekeeping or spending a lot of time gatekeeping because the odds are you're going to get, you know, pushed in the back or shot in the back and just pinched. And finally, when third partying, try to fend the numbers or make sure that they're evenly stacked on both teams. So when you finally strike, it is as favorable as possible. In my case, I turned it into a 1v1v1 with one of the persons cracked. Like, that is probably the perfect way to play that situation. So there's something to take away from that. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button, make sure you subscribed. If you guys didn't see the previous video, it's going to be available on the screen right now. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.